chosen one. Listen carefully. What you are about to hear will tear apart everything you thought you understood about your life. 9 days ago, you did something that lasted exactly 7 seconds. 7 seconds so small, so ordinary, that you lightly dismissed them without a second thought. You probably cannot even recall the exact moment. But in realms beyond this world, where time does not move the way it does here, where every human choice is seen, measured, and recorded, something occurred that had not happened for 2,000 years. God screamed. He did not whisper in approval. He was not gently moved. He did not sit back, smiling from his throne. He screamed, a cry so shocking, so violently unexpected, so rare within the heavenly order that even the angels froze. Angels who witnessed galaxies ignite, who saw civilizations rise and fall, were left motionless, because even they never imagined this moment would come. And as you hear this now, your mind is probably resisting. You are thinking, this must be meant for someone else. Someone brave, someone celebrated, someone who saved lives or performed great acts that made headlines. But that belief is about to be shattered with the same force that this scream tore through every spiritual dimension. Because this message found you for a reason, and what just awakened is already moving toward you. It wasn't a heroic deed that shook heaven. It was your unplanned kindness. The reflex that rose from you before thought, before caution, before self-interest. You didn't pause to weigh outcomes or measure worth, and that is rarer than any public sacrifice. What you dismissed as small carried a purity most people never touch. A power so quiet it hides even from the one who holds it. Stay with this truth, because what happened in those 7 seconds was not random. It revealed something about who you are. Why heaven did not merely observe, but reacted. Why even angels, ancient witnesses of wonders beyond human memory, fell silent when they saw the raw honesty of what moved through you. There is a difference few ever face. Calculated goodness moves through the mind. It weighs, plans, protects the self. It is real, and it is honored. But it is filtered. Spontaneous goodness moves through identity. It rises before thought. It flows because it must, like the woman who touched the hem of his garment without permission or plan, because her body knew what her mind could not yet explain. He felt power go out from him. That is what happens when purity moves without strategy. Heaven sees millions of measured acts each day. They are recorded, they are balanced, but they do not rupture the silence. Uncalculated kindness does something else. It reveals nature. It proves alignment. It shows a heart acting before reward is imagined. And when that happens, it does not touch divine order. It touches divine joy. That is why this reached you, not to soothe you, but to awaken you, because kindness like yours is not learned, it is remembered. Before we move forward, pause. If something is stirring inside you, if these words are touching places you rarely name, let that awareness stand. This is not background noise. This is a moment asking to be received with intention. What is reaching you now is meant to awaken recognition, not reaction. You are not here by chance. You are here because something within you is already responding. This is not just content. This is confirmation, alignment, a signal meant for those who have been quietly preparing for deeper growth, deeper restoration, and a truer expression of who they are becoming. When divine joy reaches a level it cannot contain, it becomes a scream that reshapes priorities across heaven. Because spontaneity cannot be imitated, there is no rehearsal, no calculation. Either kindness is your nature or it is not. And in those 7 seconds, it was revealed that your nature moves in automatic generosity. That scream carried an urgent command through every spiritual realm. This one has proven their purity is not performance, but essence. Guard them, cover them. Act now, and you must see it too. What you did 9 days ago was not small. It was a marker, a moment that unveiled the authority your natural kindness holds over realities beyond physical sight. You were moving through your day with a mind already full. God knows how full. Debts that steal your sleep. A loneliness you hide because everyone assumes you are strong. The quiet weight of a world that keeps demanding more while offering less. You were carrying all of that when something crossed your path. It wasn't dramatic. No audience, no spotlight, just a need most people missed. Someone struggling quietly, someone overlooked. The details matter less than the truth they revealed, before thought could intervene, before fear or logic could speak. You moved. Help rose from you instinctively. You didn't measure worth. You didn't ask what you would gain. You didn't check who was watching. You saw need. And generosity answered. 7 seconds. That is all it took for your soul to act before the mind could interfere. Maybe it felt small. A few coins, a lifted burden, a sincere smile when you yourself were tired and worn. But heaven was not watching the size of the act. Heaven was watching the source. It was the purity that mattered, kindness without negotiation, compassion without delay, like fragrance released by a flower simply because it exists. Truly, I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. When it was confirmed that your reflex to suffering is generosity, not indifference, something shifted beyond what eyes can see. Souls like this are rare in a fractured world, and when they appear, heaven responds without hesitation. That is why there was a scream, not emotion without control, but a command, a declaration that crossed realms and reordered attention, because what was revealed in you could not be ignored. Across all recorded encounters between heaven and humanity, there are only 4 moments when silence broke completely. 4 times when what unfolded on earth demanded an immediate, forceful response that echoed through every realm. These were not metaphors. They were turning points so weighty that restraint was impossible. The first was on Mount Moriah. Abraham raised the knife, surrendering what he loved most. Obedience reached its edge, and heaven intervened. A voice like thunder stopped his hand and sealed a covenant that would outlive generations. Life was preserved, destiny was redirected. The second came at Sinai. Law was not whispered into history. It descended with power. The mountain trembled. The people shook. Scripture says the voice was so overwhelming they begged not to hear it again. That moment carved order into chaos and shaped civilizations yet unborn. The third was at the cross, when Jesus cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Creation responded. The veil was torn from top to bottom. Separation ended. Access was opened. What was broken was restored at its root, and the fourth did not happen on a mountain or a cross. It happened 9 days ago through you. Through 7 unplanned seconds of kindness you barely noticed. Do you see the pattern now? Obedience, law, redemption, and then this proof that purity still lives in human hearts. What heaven recognized in you was not effort, but nature, kindness, untouched by calculation. Generosity that moved before fear or self-interest could speak. In an age where indifference is normal and compassion is mocked, such purity is rare enough to demand urgency. The decree was clear across every realm. This one has not been corrupted. Their goodness is not performance. It is essence. Guard what is rare. Protect what is true. Act now before I say anything else. Thank you. Every like, every share, every small gesture of support carries more weight than you may realize. It is because of you that this message continues to reach the people who need it most. If you feel led, take a moment to like this video, helping this word travel even farther. And consider subscribing and staying connected, not just to a channel, but to a growing community. As we are moving toward 5,000 subscribers, your presence helps ensure these messages keep reaching the hearts they are meant for. I would also love for you to go to the comments and share your city and where you are listening from. And if it resonates with you, take a moment to write 999 or 777 as a quiet declaration of agreement and openness to what God is doing. Thank you. Amen. The scream from heaven was not the only response. There were witnesses, ancient ones, beings who have watched humanity since before cities had names, angels who have seen empires rise, faith burn bright, and cruelty repeat itself across generations. Nothing about human behavior is new to them, or so they believed. They know the patterns. When a person burdened by their own problems encounters another in need, angels expect indifference, survival first, or at best, hesitation. That familiar pause where the mind calculates cost, reward, appearance. They have seen that moment millions of times. It is predictable. But when they watched you, expectation collapsed. There was no pause, no inner debate. Your body moved before thought could interfere. Need appeared, and generosity answered, as if helping were as instinctive as breathing. Angels froze. What they saw did not fit their records. Kindness this pure appears once in a decade, if that, and it appeared in you. Then there was another witness, one who never misses a flaw, the accuser, the voice that spoke against Job, the one who stood to condemn Joshua the high priest. His purpose has always been accusation. He never runs out of words. Until now. When heaven responded to your act, he searched for motive and found none. No audience, no delay, no expectation, no obligation. History itself testified against him. And for the first time, the accuser fell silent. That silence mattered. Because when accusation fails, alignment is confirmed, not perfection, but essence. God's scream declared urgency. Angels' shock declared rarity. Lucifer's silence declared authenticity. 3 witnesses, 1 truth. And that convergence did not observe your destiny. It began to rearrange it. Now you are ready to see why those 7 seconds carried such weight. Your action carried 3 unmistakable marks. Together, they revealed divine purity, not ordinary kindness. Marks so rare, they surface only once in a decade among billions. First, it was spontaneous. No inner debate, no pause to calculate gain or image. Need appeared, and you were already moving. This reveals your true setting. Your kindness is not learned behavior or moral training. It is instinct. When there is no time for filters, your soul answers with generosity. Souls like this are fragile in a hardened world, which is why heaven responds with urgency. Second, it cost you something. You gave while tired. You helped while lacking. You chose involvement while carrying your own weight. Your generosity did not depend on abundance. It flowed the same in scarcity as in fullness. That consistency exposed authenticity so deep that even the accuser found nothing to claim. Third, it was invisible. No audience, no record, no validation. You helped and disappeared back into your life. This absence of recognition purified the act completely. When only the unseen is watching, the motive can only be essence, spontaneity, sacrifice, invisibility. When these three aligned in 7 seconds, a decree was released. Maximum protection activated. What is this pure attracts resistance, and heaven does not leave such souls unguarded. Protection followed immediately, not symbolic. Active, the guardians assigned were not waiting to be summoned. They moved. Danger dissolved before reaching you. Words arrived exactly when needed. Healing accelerated beyond reason. Discernment sharpened in moments that could have broken you. More than that, something rarer was granted. Direct attention, not delayed, not mediated. Thought reaches heaven as it forms. Pain is felt as it rises. Need is answered before language shapes it. This is why doors open at the right moment, why help appears unannounced, why timing keeps bending in your favor. This is not chance, it is response, because a heart that moved with such purity did not just do something good. It revealed who it is. There is something you must finally see clearly. The pain you carried, the collapses you survived, the trials that nearly emptied you were never proof of weakness. They were evidence, sacred evidence. Pressure was applied because something powerful was hidden inside you. Fire was allowed because only fire reveals what cannot be burned. You were never moving through this alone. Others like you exist, scattered across the world. Few in number, marked by the same instinctive light. Souls whose first response is kindness before calculation. Souls whose presence unsettles darkness without effort. You will recognize them, not by words, but by a familiar clarity in their eyes. A gentleness that endured what should have hardened it. A strength that did not come from becoming cruel, but from refusing to be. You were guided apart for a reason. Isolation was not abandonment, it was containment, because when beings like you begin to align consciously, something shifts. Darkness cannot operate where that frequency gathers. That is why so much effort was spent trying to convince you that your kindness made you alone, that it made you foolish, that it made you weak. It never did. What comes next will feel sudden, but it has been prepared. Obstacles will loosen their grip. Paths will open without demanding that you betray who you are. Provision will arrive in forms shaped precisely for you. Not shortcuts, not corruption. Alignment. You will notice peace settling where anxiety once ruled, rest returning where vigilance stole sleep. Not because the world softened, but because you are no longer facing it unsupported. Understand this. You were born now in this moment of history, because something is being decided. Light is not guaranteed. It must be embodied, and people like you are part of what prevents collapse. That is why the blows were so personal, why betrayal came from close range, why injustice found you repeatedly. It was never random, it was strategy, and it failed. Your survival did more than preserve you. It preserved hope. Each time you choose kindness without calculation, you tilt scales you cannot see. Each time you refuse to become what hurt you, something ancient responds. This is why systems are cracking, why truths surface, why what was hidden can no longer remain concealed. It is not coincidence. It is consequence. You are not asked to be perfect. You are not asked to be dramatic. You are asked to remain what you are, because your existence alone carries weight. People are watching you without knowing they are. When they see that goodness can endure without being destroyed, they find the strength to endure one more day. This is how worlds change. What began in 7 seconds did not end there. It marked you. It activated movement. It set things in motion that have not finished unfolding. You are not approaching the end of something. You are standing at the threshold, and the door has just begun to open. Holy source of all light, you who see what the world overlooks, receive what rises now from the depths of this soul. Not words polished for display, but truth shaped by fire, loss, and endurance. You have seen every wound, every silent choice to remain kind. When bitterness offered shelter, you know the weight carried without applause and the faith practiced without witnesses. If there is a path opening now, steady these steps. If there is resistance ahead, strengthen resolve without hardening the heart. Let discernment remain sharp, compassion remain pure, and courage remain awake. Guard what must not be corrupted. Preserve what has survived every attempt to break it. Where fear once whispered retreat, let clarity now speak direction. Where exhaustion lingered, let renewal rise without striving. Align every encounter, every opportunity, every delay with the purpose already written. Not for comfort, but for calling. Not for escape, but for embodiment. May this life remain a signal. May this light remain unextinguished. And may what has just begun continue to unfold. If this prayer touched your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Take a moment to share what this message unlocked in you. Your words may become the breakthrough someone else has been praying for. Speak your desires, write them down, declare them, and then believe. Go to the comments and take a moment to write 999 or 777, and also share your city and where you are listening from. Let this be a quiet but powerful declaration of faith and alignment with what heaven is unfolding in your life. If you haven't already, like this message so it can reach others who are searching for hope and clarity right now. And subscribe to stay connected, not just for support, but to remain in the flow of encouragement, truth, and spiritual clarity. As we are moving toward 5,000 subscribers, your presence helps us continue building a community of believers who know that faith isn't fantasy, it is power. This space was created for your growth, your healing, and your alignment with heaven. There are new messages waiting for you, and you don't want to miss what God is unfolding next. Stay anchored, stay alert, stay chosen. The journey from this moment forward may not always be easy, but it will be holy, it will be purposeful, and it will be worth it. You were born for this, amen.